Good evening, I'm Ron Foreman with Imagine Performing Arts. Welcome to Imagine This. Our first performance will be from Jeff Purdy. Jeff plays mostly in the Indianapolis area, and lately he's been leaning towards more of a Americana folk style. And he likes that mostly because you can always put the moment into your song.
I'm going to play some cover songs for you. This first one's by Pete Yorn, released about 20 years ago. I live on a chain. You share the same last name. And there's a joke, in a bottle of whiskey as you choke. Said it made you feel dirty. I was waiting over here for life to begin, looking for the new thing. You were the sunshine hitting my front line. I was alone and you were just around the corner from me. Oh yeah. Time alone is good. I spend my days in the city, dirty neighborhood. You know you never convince me. So I sold the town away. I couldn't wait to forget you. And I was killed in half a day. Hadn't time to regret you. Well, no. And I was waiting over here for life to begin, looking for the new thing. You were the sunshine hitting my front line. I was alone and you were just around the corner from me. Oh yeah. Oh. I live on a chain, and you share the same last name. As a joke, sent a bottle of whiskey as you choked. You said it made you feel dirty. No, now I'm waiting over here for life to begin, looking for the new thing. You were the sunshine hitting my front line. I was alone and you were just around the corner from me. Oh yeah. You were the sunshine hitting my front line. Yeah, you're just around the corner from me. You were the sunshine hitting my front line. Yeah, you're just around the corner from me. Oh yeah, you were just around the corner from me. Oh yeah, you were just around the corner from me. Another turning point, the folks stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. So take the photographs in steel frames in your mind. Hang it on the shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable. In the end, it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. I've got one more song for you. It's, I don't know, maybe a decade or so ago, there was a kind of a new genre that crept up. People were calling Americana or folk Americana. And I kind of gravitated some towards that. This is a song by the Lumineers. When we were younger, we thought everyone was on our side. Then we grew a little romanticized the time I saw flowers in your hair. It takes a boy to live, it takes a man to pretend he was there. So then we grew a little, knew a lot. And now we demonstrated it to the cops and all the things we said. We were self-assured. It's a long road to wisdom and a short one to be known. Be my eyes, be my heart, be my eyes, be my heart. So now I think that I could love you back. I hope it's not too late, 'cause you're so attractive in the way you move. I won't close my eyes. It takes a man to live, it takes a woman to make him compromise. Be my eyes, be my heart, be my eyes, be my heart. When we were younger, we thought everyone was on our side. Then we grew a little romanticized the time I saw flowers in your hair. It takes a boy to live, it takes a man to pretend he was there. So then we grew a little, knew a lot. Now we demonstrated it to the cops and all the things we said. We were self-assured. It takes It's a long road to wisdom, a short one to be ignored. Be my eyes, be my heart, be my eyes, eyes, be my heart, be my eyes, be my heart, be my eyes, be my heart. She said it's cold outside. She hands me my raincoat. She's always worried about things like that. She said it's all gonna end, might as well be my fault. She only sleeps when it's raining. She screams and her voice is straining. She says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. Hate it when she says, baby, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes. The rain's gonna wash away, I believe it. She's got a little bit of something, God, it's better than nothing. In the color port world, she believes she's got it all. She swears the moon don't hang quite as high as it used to. She only sleeps when it's raining. She screams and her voice is straining. She says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. Hate it when she says, baby, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes. The rain's gonna wash away, I believe it. I believe this. She believes life is made up of all that she's used to. The clock on the wall's been stuck at 3 for days and days. She thinks that happiness is a man that sits on a doorway. Outside, it stopped raining, and she says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. Hate it when she says, baby, I can't help but be scared of it all sometimes. The rain's gonna wash away, I believe this. It's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. Hate when she says, baby, can't help but be scared of it all sometimes. She thinks that happiness is a mat that sits on her doorway. Thank you.
Our next performance is Caleb Hawkins. And I guess you could say Caleb is a complete package, including his authenticity.
Be it in the tavern or in the market square, I played every song I know for $100 bill. For music is a way of life I've come to enjoy. If I wasn't a music man, I don't know what I'd be. Dreamed of handsome Molly, I've sang of Clementine, I pined for the hills of home, well in a far off land. For music is a way of life I've come to enjoy. If I wasn't a music man, I don't know what I'd be. The banjo, I've strummed the old guitar, I fiddled till my fingers burned to the tune of Soldier's Joy. Thank you. You know, there's been a lot of questions about what the difference between a violin and a fiddle is. And there's the old sort of essential troubadour's joke that a violin has 4 strings and a fiddle has 4 strings. Well, if you're paying attention to my fiddling, I actually have a 5th string on my fiddle, so that joke kind of goes out the window. So I like to defer the joke that the difference between a violinist and a fiddler is that a violinist is 6 figures in debt for an arts degree, and a fiddler has a great recipe to share for possum. This is a song I wrote stuck in traffic on Interstate 70 coming out of the west side of Indianapolis. It was like a parking lot that night. Well, I'm not home yet, a long ways to go. Car's parked out on this interstate, but the tank is getting low. I got a half a chorus, the perfect verse. It doesn't rhyme, just makes sense. painters paint, poets write, lovers love, and liars leave, liars leave. But they say in life, we're only just as good as our regrets. I've got a few, I've got a few. And a half a chorus, the perfect verse. It doesn't rhyme, just makes sense. Well, I've been running for so long, I'm tired from my journey, and I see redemption like a light in front of me, like a light in front of me. With a half a chorus, the perfect verse, it doesn't rhyme, just makes sense. I had a dream one night that I was a stagehand at the Grand Ole Opry, and it was the night that Johnny Cash had the infamous meltdown where he dragged his microphone across the stage and took out all the footlights right before they fired him, of course. But I was a stagehand, and it was my job to change all those bulbs for the show the next night or something. And I woke up in a cold sweat and realized maybe I needed to get out of the live sound production show for a while. But I got a good song out of it. I was dreaming about the man in black. I was hiding in the shadows. He was kicking out the footlights. I was watching it all go down. Was it something somebody said? Why's it always gotta be this way? When you love somebody, when you lose your head, when the hammer breaks you down, when your mind can't clearly see, where will you be? Well, I was dancing to the rhythm of a train. It's not something that I'm good at, but sometimes it sure feels good. Even when it gets off the rails, even when it gets off the rails. And everybody that I used to know gave up long ago, but I'm still here, dreaming in black and white, dreaming in black and white. I was dreaming about the man in black. I was hiding in the shadows. He was kicking out the footlights. I was watching it all go down, dreaming in black and white, dreaming in black and white. This is an old Delmore Brothers song that kind of relates to where I grew up. I grew up in the greater Miami Valley, down southeast Indiana and Cincinnati, Ohio area. And back, way back in the day, in my grandfather's time, there was a train that departed from Cincinnati at Union Terminal and went all the way to New Orleans. And there were various folks around Cincinnati growing up that would tell the story about riding the train all the way there. And one old lady that came to a show said, "Well, I rode that train to New Orleans, and I rode there all the way with all the GIs that returned from the war. And boy, we had us a great time." And that's all she'd say. Well, now listen here, folks. If you want to take a trip, better take it on a train to call Ellen and Pride. It's Pan American Boogie. Lordy, Lordy, what a train. Take off Cincinnati, boogie down to New Orleans. She boogies on down to old Louisville, where the gals won't kiss you in a racehorse wheel. Pan American Boogie. Lordy, Lordy, what a train. Take off Cincinnati, boogie down to New Orleans. Well, they're landing, swinging from side to side. She's the best freight liner that you're ever gonna ride. Pan American Boogie. Lord, Lord, what a train. Take off Cincinnati, boogie down to New Orleans. Well, I got a little gal down in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm gonna meet her at the station 'cause she's waiting there for me. Lordy, Lordy, what a train. Take off Cincinnati, boogie down to New Orleans. Well, she boogies on down to old Birmingham, the most magical city in all Alabama. Pan American Boogie. Lordy, Lordy, what a train. Take off Cincinnati, boogie down to New Orleans. All aboard. Thank you so much. If you like my music, you can find me best at calebhawkins.com. That's got my schedule and all of my social media links and blog and YouTube channel right all over there. So come say hello if you drop in.
And now we're bringing back an old friend and her adventures with Mrs. Carnahan.
Hi, I'm Margaret Carnahan, and I teach math at Hamptonville High School. We got our yearbooks today. It's always fun to see the year in review. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. My favorite part is what the picture leaves unsaid. Like this one. In this photo, the agriculture class is using their new school-issued laptops to gather data on soil samples in different places around the outside of the building. The students are so happy they're doing science. And those laptops are at work as they were intended in the picture. But this photo doesn't show what happened later in the day. Mr. Claypool had left a lesson plan for his substitute teacher while he left was to get an emergency root canal. And knowing how students sometimes are when there's a substitute teacher, he promised them 10 bonus points if they completed the assignment before the end of the period. Well, the lesson would have worked fine except for one thing. It started to rain while the class was outside. The substitute teacher was under a tree watching videos on his phone and didn't notice that it was raining. The students were trying to get the assignment done so they could get the 10 bonus points in the rain. Until one by one, their laptops just shut down. When they marched all those dead, wet laptops to the technology office, I thought Daryl, our IT guy, was going to have a meltdown. But the yearbook picture looks nice. And there's a photo of the business ed class. It was also taken early in the year. I can tell it was early in the year because the teacher, Sarah Coleman, she's smiling. She didn't smile so much later in the year. During the second semester, the class launched a business selling those little pop-up discs that you put on the back of your cell phone. It was the right product at the right time, and they sold lots of them. But when they checked the books at the end of the project, they were surprised to see a total profit of $125.37. They knew that wasn't right, but the paperwork all added up. Eventually, our school bookkeeper figured out that the student treasurer had been running sort of a side business. When the students turned in their cash, he wrote them the receipts. Then he pocketed the cash and destroyed the duplicate receipts. Once they tracked it down, there was a difficult conference with student and parents and the police. Full restitution was made, some community service was done, and Sarah will find a different way to handle the money the next time her class does a unit like this. I think she's also planning to expand her business ethics unit next year. And then there's a picture of Mr. Rosario in the Spanish class. He's holding up his laptop and showing students how to access an online Spanish newspaper. Great photo. I remember the day they took it. The night before, Mr. Rosario had read an article that said it was more secure to use phrases as passwords instead of single words. So he changed his password to a Spanish phrase, an obscene Spanish phrase. He thought that would be pretty secure. Logged off, went to bed. The next morning, our school obscenity filter wouldn't let him log in. It recognized the phrase. He took it to our technology team thinking, well, hey, the password's in Spanish. I'll write it down for them. They won't know what it means. But one of the interns had just returned from 3 months in the Dominican Republic on a mission trip. He recognized that phrase. His boss had to explain to Mr. Rosario how this profanity filter worked, and Mr. Rosario was very embarrassed, changed his password back to a single word, a very secure password. And this picture was taken at the county courthouse. Last spring, a year ago, the government classes held a voter registration drive, and Malachi Harrison realized that he would be old enough to run for city council by the time elections were held in the fall. There had been some issues in his neighborhood that he wanted to see addressed, so he ran. He squeaked through the primary, partly because there weren't many candidates, but he spent the summer knocking on doors and talking to people. And he took the oath of office January 1st. We're so proud. Now when he doesn't have his homework done, we give him an extra day. We know he's getting an education of a different kind. Someday we're going to say, we knew him when. Oh, here's a picture from the Writers' League. In February, Emily, our creative writing teacher, she had the students writing love poems for Valentine's Day. And they were really getting into it. She didn't quite understand the enthusiasm until she realized they were writing acrostics, those poems where when you read the first letter going down, it spells out words. She started reading a few of the poems, realized what they were writing, and suddenly the Valentine's Day project was over. Oh, and here's Mrs. Farling, bless her heart. The doctors kept changing her blood pressure medication, and she would get so confused. In the spring, the principal announced the statewide tornado drill. She thought it was a fire drill. And while the rest of us were huddling in the bathrooms and the hallways, she marched her students right out the front door to the sidewalk. We were all happy for her when they finally got her medication worked out, and even happier when she announced her retirement in the fall. My mathletes won our regional competition and took second at state. It's the best we've ever done. And to celebrate, the students ordered team t-shirts with a long, complicated equation that started on one sleeve and then came down the other sleeve and ended with equals 2, because they were second in the state. You can see them wearing their shirts in the picture. So proud. But right after they took the picture, someone noticed that the printer had changed a plus sign to a minus sign, and the equation was all wrong. Well, what are you going to do? The kids got out Sharpies and fixed the problem, and they are determined that next year's shirt will say equals 1. The end of the school year is always a bittersweet time. On one hand, we teachers have come to know and care about this group of young people. On the other hand, we're honestly a little tired of one another's quirks and habits and excuses, and we're ready for a break. We're ready for yearbooks and graduation and going to bed without setting the alarm clock. But give us a couple months off. We'll start looking forward to the fall. Thank you.
And on behalf of Imagine Performing Arts, we would like to thank you for being with us, and have a good evening.